thanks so much for that kind introduction. I'm really happy to be with you here today. I want to congratulate, as others have done, the organizers of the conference, along with the moderators, the speakers, the panelists, and all of the participants for being part of the session and having contributed so much to a very successful exchange of ideas on this vital topic. And I do know that I'm the only thing standing between you all and the end of your day, drinks, going to see friends, family. So I'm going to keep my remarks brief. We can take a couple of questions at the end, but you can also feel free to find me afterwards if you want to talk more informally, and I'll see a lot of you tonight. As a public official responsible for understanding how my government relates to the public in the countries of Europe, I am keenly aware of the role of a free and responsible media as a channel of communication between our societies. I appreciate the effort you all are making towards ensuring the free flow of information within your countries and across national borders. As my big boss, Secretary Clinton, has said, when a free media is in jeopardy, all other human rights are also threatened. So in that spirit, let us continue to champion those who stand for media freedom and expose those who would deny it. And let us always work toward a world where the free flow of information and ideas remains a powerful force for progress." End quote. I understand that many of you, at least those of you from Macedonia, have seen George Clooney's film Good Night and Good Luck, the story of an American journalist, Edward R. Murrow. Ambassador Rieker attended the opening of the Journalism in American Film series last month, which kicked off with the showing of that movie. He took the occasion to note that the media, in all of its forms, are the guardians of the values that we cherish, including free speech and a free and independent press. Those who practice journalism are nudged in large respect by their ability to fulfill the mission of holding elected officials accountable through objective and fair reporting. Now, George Clooney didn't make that film as a mere historical document. He made it because he felt strongly that Murrow's story was relevant to us in the 21st century. Just as Murrow was fighting to preserve and renew an American tradition of free press and government accountability extending back to the 17th century, our generation must carry the torch passed to us by Murrow and keep it alive for the future. New generations and new media innovations present new challenges for those of us in the media, government, civil society, as well as other sectors. As the Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for European and Eurasian Affairs, with a focus on public diplomacy and public affairs, following the press in Europe is a major part of my job. At this time, we're all paying very close attention to the phenomena of social media, as you all are as well. Its spread is expanding access to reporting. It's reshaping the practice and profession of journalism. It's redefining how people relate to each other, to their governments, and their sources of information. The communications revolution has had an impact on the attitudes and aspirations of people everywhere. And one needs to look no further than the recent events in Northern Africa and the Middle East, and how social media was the key means of communication for protesters. Social media users have played a leading role in the drama unfolding in countries like Egypt, Tunisia, Yemen, and Syria, and the internet is serving as a catalyst for journalists and citizens alike to connect with each other, share their stories, and give voice to ideas for positive change in their societies. More people have access to more information now than ever before, with technology that empowers people and connects them with communities, networks, and markets. Hostile forces, however, have been able to control access or exploit opportunities to spread disinformation, stoke hatred, or inspire acts of terrorism and destruction. In Egypt and Tunisia, we saw that social media can be used and manipulated just as easily as government proclamations or information reported in the press. This makes your mission as professional journalists all the more important, in my opinion, to use the tools of social media ethically and with professional principles, and to report on events fairly and objectively. As Secretary Clinton said earlier this year, quote, "The internet has become the public space of the 21st century, the world's town square, its classroom, its marketplace, its coffee house, and its nightclub. We all shape and are shaped by what happens here, all 2 billion of us on the internet and counting." This is the new public space in which you are active. It's crowded and growing more crowded every day. It's an environment that's challenging how journalists collect information, disseminate it to consumers, and serve as a channel of communication between citizens and the government. Undoubtedly, the arrival of the digital age, the evolution of the internet, the emergence of new forms of media, and the rise of online social networks has sparked debate as to what it means to be a journalist, what role bloggers play, and what the effect of a blurring of lines between citizen journalists and professionals will be on the media of today and tomorrow. The outcome of that debate will depend in large part on maintaining a commitment to the free expression of ideas. Your role is, depending on your local circumstances, to create, maintain, and/or expand the environment where ideas win or lose public favor by their merits, not on the basis of who controls access to information. This week's conference celebrates another important event. World Press Freedom Day was observed this week on May 3rd. It was established by the United Nations to celebrate the principles of press freedom and commemorate those who have fought and died trying to exercise them. This year, the U.S. partnered with UNESCO to host the global commemoration of World Press Freedom Day in Washington, D.C. This year's theme, the commemoration, could not have been more timely. 21st century media, new barriers. The establishment and fostering of an independent, pluralistic, and free press is essential to the development of civil societies and democracies across the globe. Around the world, as people reflect on World Press Freedom Day and renew their commitment to the free flow of information, we hope that this part of the world, Macedonia and elsewhere in the region, can become a source of positive examples. That's not always been the case, of course, but this week's conference shows the way to new possibilities. Just as media pose difficult questions, they also give us the tools to engage with each other and overcome challenges. So with that, I want to thank you for your attention. Again, I want to thank you for your participation in this conference and for your commitment to what I believe is a brave and honorable profession. I urge you to continue to strive for excellence in your craft, in the traditional press as well as with social media, with every word you write and in everything that you report. This applies to the immediate demand for fair and accurate information on Macedonia's upcoming elections, but also on your reporting and analysis of developments in the region and around the world. Your fellow citizens, I think, deserve no less. Thank you so much.